everyone, welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are in the world of San Myshuno working on an apartment build. This address is 18 Culpepper House, and this is the third apartment that I have done on the channel in this particular building. There are total, so this is 18. I've also done 19 and 20. So just one more left, and then this building will be completed. This is probably one of my most favorite apartment buildings in the world, just because I really like the sort of classic architecture of the building. Kind of has that old brownstone look to it. And this area of the spice market, I feel like just has like a lot of character. And so it's definitely one of my favorite places to build in. And a lot of the other apartment buildings in San Myshuno are modern. So this is one of the few that I feel like you can get away with doing more classic or traditional type of builds. And so for today, I wanted to get back to the new Discover University pack and make an apartment for a professor. This particular address I just felt like was really perfect for a professor's home, especially because this apartment has the historical trait, which I felt like was kind of cool for a professor. And even though it's a pretty big apartment, I just made it with one bedroom and one bathroom, because I really wanted this professor to have a very large home office. That office could be transformed into a bedroom if you wanted it to be, but you would just have to change the floor plan slightly in order to turn the bathroom into like a hall bath, but really it wouldn't be that difficult to do. You just have to add like one small wall, and so it could be a 2-bedroom apartment. But for my purposes today, this vision, I guess, that I had was of a professor who lives alone, and so it just has one bedroom, and then, or maybe they have some pets. You know, you could definitely have like a dog or cat or something in here if you wanted to. But yeah, so in my mind, this professor lives alone, and everything was done very much with like a classic sort of older vibe. So maybe like an older professor, like an elder sim, would be really good for this particular apartment. And I've used a lot of items from Discover University mixed with quite a few things from base game, in order to keep everything very classic in design. This kitchen that I'm working on right now is all done with base game cabinets and appliances. And then for the decor, I just went with a lot of, you know, very traditional kitchen type items. Since it is a very large kitchen, I kind of thought maybe this professor it's sort of a gourmet, you know, maybe they have that, what's that trait you get in San Myshuno, like gourmet cook or something. I can't even think of what it is now, but yeah. So maybe he has that trait, he or she. And yeah, another thing that I kind of thought would have been cool, but I ended up having to take it out, is that I had a bicycle in this apartment, like leaning against the wall. But unfortunately, it didn't work when I play tested because the footprint of the bike was taking up too much space, and my sim couldn't enter the apartment, so I had to take it out. But I was kind of thinking that would have been really cool, to think that this professor biked to class. I was kind of thinking about professors that I had back when I was in college, and so I was definitely pulling from like a lot of personal sort of memories when thinking about professors in general. And my dad is a professor, oddly enough, so I guess maybe that also played into my vision for this apartment. So yeah, the colors are very dark, very rich and cozy, lots of dark brown and black. Again, I'm just kind of keeping with this vibe where everything is very rich and historic and worldly. We've got this historic trait, which just really fits perfectly with this whole concept. And so, yeah, I was keeping that in mind as I was decorating and choosing things out of the catalog. The wallpaper in here is also base game. That rug that I put on the floor is from the new Tiny Living stuff pack, which that rug is becoming like one of my most favorite rugs to use because it's really great in kitchens and laundry rooms. And I don't know, just the size of it is perfect because it doesn't have to be sized down or anything. So I really like that rug. And then the kitchen is open to the living room area. Pretty much everything you're seeing here is from Discover University. I started out doing kind of a mixture of light woods and dark woods, but then I don't know, I just kind of felt like it was a little bit too yellow. And I wanted to keep everything, really rich and dark. So I ended up changing all of this to darker woods and darker colors and offsetting that with a rug. Because one thing that kind of bugs me, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I don't really like dark wood furniture setting on dark wood floors because I feel like it all just kind of blends together. So the rug definitely helps make a separation, between the dark on dark. And this particular rug from Discover University comes in a lot of really cute swatches. This one in particular I've used a few times over the last month and I really like it. And the curtains, they are from, is it Vintage Glamour? I think it's Vintage Glamour. They're not really the perfect size that I wanted, but these particular windows are really, really hard to find curtains for unless you want to do shades, which at first I did play around with doing like some blinds and shades and stuff, but I don't know, I just felt like in this kind of like older type look, you would have curtains. When I think of like the people that I know who are older and like elder Sims and stuff like that, I don't know why I always think of curtains. It just seems very old fashioned, I guess. And there's a fireplace in here, which I kind of turned into a little bit of a mock entertainment center using these bookcases from Realm of Magic, I believe. They were the perfect size to just fit right against that fireplace along that small wall, and just added a TV and some decor and stuff. So like I said, trying to keep everything very cozy and warm and classic in looks. The tables in here are also Discover University. The lamps and lighting are all base game. And yeah, and that little new item we got from Tiny Living on the coffee table with like the candles and the plants and the books. That's so cute. I've been using that, I think, in like every house that I've built over the last month. And then right off of the living room is the office. This was the room I was talking about that could be a second bedroom if you wanted it to be. But for my purposes, I just really wanted this sim to have a large office. I just felt like it really matched the personality and like life stage of this particular person. And so I kept everything in here dark. Again, I actually ended up going back and changing this wallpaper a couple of times. One thing about the lighting, when you don't adjust it and you just leave it as the kind of like standard default lighting setting, it is very yellowish, as you can see. And so this yellow wallpaper, I don't know, after a while of looking at it, I just felt like it was too much yellow. It was kind of bothering my eyes. So I went back later and changed it to gray. And I think that looked a lot better. It wasn't quite as bright. And then the furniture in here is also from Discover University. All the book bookcases and the desk and the chair and the computer. And then I ended up doing a fireplace. And yeah, everything in here is from that pack, the curtains as well. And then I also added an easel in here because I thought maybe the professor liked to paint. And I also gave them a violin. I think that kind of appealed to me as a skill for like a professor. I don't know why. Here's that Discover University fireplace that I'm adding. It would have been really cool if the fireplace in the office and the one in the living room were exactly opposite of each other. Just thinking about that in like the floor planning, it would have made the most sense. But unfortunately, I couldn't get it any closer without getting in the way of the easel. So it's just slightly different, but you know, it's still fine. And the desk, just doing like some typical office type decor. That scale is from Discover University, which I thought was kind of cool and looked kind of like collegiate, I guess. Maybe like kind of probably goes more for a lawyer, but I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a neat piece of decor. And then this old rug that looks very worn out and old, which I liked a lot for the sim. And then I also gave them a bar that's inside the globe you're seeing now. That is just, I think, a really iconic sort of piece to use in an office for a professor. It just really fits the whole vibe. And it's nice that it's a bar, so it gives the sim an ability to mix some cocktails. Here you see I'm getting rid of that bicycle that I had put by the front door because I was so sad that that didn't work, because I thought aesthetically it would have been really cool to have that bike sitting there, but sadly it didn't work. And so now I'm in the bedroom. You see right there next to the clutter shelf is that historical plaque, which you cannot remove from this apartment, but I thought it was fine because it really went with the theme that I was going for anyway. So, I didn't block it. You can, I've seen a lot of people in other builds, put things in front of it like bookcases and stuff, which is really a great idea if you know the historical trade doesn't really go with like with the theme of the apartment that you're working on. But luckily for this one, I thought it went together pretty well. So this bed and also the rug and the tables are all from Discover University as well. I really like this swatch. It's got kind of like it's brown, but it's got kind of like this bronze sort of fabric that's, I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's kind of like satiny or something. It's sort of shiny, that I thought was really pretty. And then I just mixed it with some lamps that I thought kind of played off of the bronze colors really well. And of course, here's the bathroom where I'm just adding a door there. The apartment definitely has that sort of golden bronzy tone all over just because of the lighting and all the dark furniture. Oh, here I am. I almost forgot. I went back and added a bar because I didn't have much room for a dining room set. I just did a table for two. So I thought I would add a bar as well just to give additional seating. So if this professor has, friends over or colleagues, I guess I should say, has colleagues over, they would have more seating than just for two people. So this gave more space for that. And those bar stools, those are from Discover University, but I actually ended up switching them out. Here you'll see in just a minute, because I wanted to go with something that had like more of a cloth type fabric seat. I just thought it kind of gave a little bit more of like a pop of color against the dark wood floors. And then I threw a pile of mail and a little basket there because I kind of felt like as you come through the front door, that's maybe where you would toss like the mail and your keys and stuff. It just seemed like a good place for that. And then back in the bedroom, this is a large bedroom, so I had room to do this dressing table, which I thought was really good because it has that very vintage sort of classic feel, but I didn't want to put it right next to the chest of drawers because one little thing for me, I never like to put two pieces of furniture that are similar in size next to each other. So because the chest of drawers and the vanity table are both kind of the same shape and height, I didn't want them just side by side. So I ended up switching the bathroom door around to the side so I could move the chest over and then give that vanity table kind of more of its own focal point in the center of the wall. And then I just tucked another bookcase. This apartment has so many bookcases. I think it has like 6 or 8 bookcases, which, you know, for a professor, I feel like makes sense anyway. So the furniture in here is sort of more of like a, it's not that super dark brown like the office. It's more of like sort of a golden brown, which I think kind of lightened the bedroom up and made it look a little more, I don't know, kind of warm and bright, not as dark. And then for the bathroom, I started out with this, using this same tile as the kitchen, but then later I just didn't really feel like, I don't know, that to me that tile looks very kitchen-y. So I used this tile from Parenthood instead. We actually really need more tiles. Yeah, I hope whichever pack we get next has some new tile wallpapers because I feel like I use the same Parenthood tiles like every time I build a house. So yeah, this bathroom set is from Cats and Dogs, and I just really liked the bronze fixtures on all of the, you know, sink and toilet and bathtub because I felt like it was very old-fashioned. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this build. I hope you guys like this apartment. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, so that's it for today. And oh, this is in the gallery. My ID is ErikaBuilds, and I will see you guys next time with another speed build. So have a great week. Bye-bye.